According to Collins English Dictionary, advertising is a form of marketing communication used to promote or sell something, usually a business's product or service. In Latin, advertere means to turn towards. The purpose of advertising may also be to reassure employees or shareholders that a company is viable or successful. According to Hansen, newspapers were the original advertising medium. Before the 1950s, general interest magazines were the best way to reach a mass national audience. The first newspaper advertisement was published in the Boston Newsletter in 1704. This advertisement was an announcement seeking a buyer for an Oyster Bay at Long Island estate. In 1833, Benjamin Day publishes The Sun, the first successful penny newspaper in New York. By 1837, circulation reaches 30,000, making it the world's largest newspaper. The first billboards appeared in 1835. In 1891, companies began selling their brand, not just their products, such as Kodak. David Mackenzie Ogilvy was an advertising executive. He is widely hailed as the father of advertising. In 1935, he wrote his first advertisement for a stove. By 1948, he had formed Ogilvy and Mather, now an international empire with global billings of nearly $8 billion last year. He created the first Pepperidge Farm bread commercial in 1956, a campaign he said he literally dreamed up. In his memoir, Ogilvy on Advertising, he told of a dream in which a baker drove his horse-drawn wagon down a country road. The bread commercial used just that script, creating an image of handmade tradition for mass-market bread. In 1941, Bulova watches made the first television commercial, costing only $9.
In 1951, microwave transmitters enabled coast-to-coast broadcasting of live network programming, and in 1956, video recording made it possible to air pre-recorded commercials. By 1957, Americans were able to watch 450 stations across the U.S. on 37 million TV sets. The Internet became an essential part of American society in the 1990s. Computers replaced typewriters, and email established itself as a necessity. Technology also literally changed the face of advertising. The use of computers to create and alter images meant that spots could be quite simple or extremely complex, but it led to an emphasis of nature and outdoor imagery, as seen in spots where polar bears drink Coke. When you think back to 90s denim, your mind will instantly go to images of Calvin Klein's provocative campaign imagery, basically sex sells. There were many CDs and cassettes being sold on television in the 90s. There was the premiere of Now CDs and the Buzz Collection and various of other types of mixes. Who can forget those awesome Mentos ads? These guys thought of clever ways to handle a bad situation with just a mint. According to Retro.com and most people in the 90s, this little guy was popular back in the day. Everyone was saying Yo quiero Taco Bell, helped broaden the foreign skills. Got milk was a big thing in the 90s. Remember seeing celebrities in magazines with all the milk mustaches all the time? It was a huge phenomenon. In advertising, it's all about the jingle. Folger's jingle was so catchy I always wanted a cup of coffee, didn't you?
In 2000, Google creates a pay-per-click service called AdWords. This million-dollar idea helped make advertisements more mainstream and now helps with over 95% of Google's revenue. In 2003, pop-up ads go mainstream. These ads create crazy amounts of blow-ups on computers, resulting in almost twice as many clicks than average banners. These ads help to aid web traffic, guiding viewers elsewhere for distraction from their original use. According to Great Moments in Advertising History, in 2004, Mark Zuckerberg and his college roommates created a forum called Facebook for interaction between two to multiple people at once. However, in 2006, it created a behavior-based advertising by seeing how many people socially interacted with each other to create new ideas. This is now the most effective ad media. In 2005, creators Chad Hurley, Stephen Chen, and Jod Carmen invented YouTube, which launched for the first time to create funny videos to share with friends. This created access for video sharing and outside viewers to watch. Not until Google bought YouTube in 2006 did these videos have an abundant amount of ads and commercials advertising different companies. This is why so many brands have resulted in using channels to market their companies. In 2006, Twitter hit the internet. viral marketing where it was fast and free for users to create a forum to buy, sell, and trade. This access has made it easy for consumers to purchase because ads are welcomed for persuasion. Twitter skyrocketed and helps advertising immensely still to this day. In 2008, in-text advertising was made easier by providing a double underline to create web bubbles where people can click on the link and it will take them right to their desired location, where they can either purchase, view, or send various interests. According to the evolution of advertising, in 2010, viral advertisements take over traditional advertisements, proven through an Old Spice campaign that got over 30 million views, which was the most successful by a lot over the whole year. In 2011, there were over 1 trillion pages online. That's 417 pages for every one person. Just think about how many pop-ups with advertisements that were all over the sites per person. It's impossible not to be surrounded by hundreds of advertisements a day with how much of the internet by this year was consumed by advertisements. In 2013, BuzzFeed starts to get sponsored articles. This was paid for posting situation where companies could market clothing, food, and politics. But this made an impact on BuzzFeed, giving it a title of an official news source. Google's Eric Schmidt cites that every 2 days we create as much information as we did from the dawn of civilization up until 2003. This means that we are consuming ridiculous amounts more now every day than we ever have before when it comes to advertising.